prophetically speaking, do black men with red hair have the fatness of the earth? All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Okay. And, in the latter days, you're going to have men who's going to basically flee from the battlefield and side with the enemy, becoming traitors to the army of Yahweh Shai. They're going to become turncoats. And after becoming turncoats, they're going to start coming with wayward doctrines, cunningly devised fables, bewitching doctrines, and ultimately, they're going to come with damnable heresies in order to appease to their slave masters. So we're living in a time where there's going to be a lot of apostates, which an apostate is someone who turns their back on the ministry and they stop doing it the right way. They stop teaching it the right way. The latest bullshit, I'll just say that's out there is that the Esau are actually a group of black men with red hair, wearing skinny jeans. Some of them got beards, some of them got smooth faces, like some shit from Street Fighter 6, DJ, fucking dark skin, red, like dark skin, red hair, skinny jeans, wearing sunglasses, smile on his face, and it's just other bullshit, Now in Isaiah 8 verse 20, if we just come over here real quick, okay? Because we know that Esau is first mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. So when you speak the truth, especially concerning biblical prophecy, you have to speak it according to the Holy Scriptures. Okay? If the truth is not backed or based on the Holy Scriptures, then it's not the truth. Okay? If your doctrine is based on anything except the Holy Scriptures, it's not the truth. Point blank, period. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. Because Esau being a dark-skinned man with red hair is not biblical. Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word. What word? The word of Yahweh, who is the light that is coming to the world 2,000 plus years ago. Okay, this word, that's the word of Yahweh, which is the word of Yahweh is Yahweh Shai, who is the light, okay, who is also the volume of the book. As it is written, Yahweh Shai said, lo, he come in the volume of the book, it is written of him. So if they're not speaking according to this word, according to Yahweh Shai, it is because there is no light in them. So Yahweh Shai is not in these reprobates, these bug outs, these fallouts, these rejects. Okay? These rejects. Yahweh Shai is not in them. They don't have Yahweh Shai, which is the light. So there's no light in these guys. So what's in them? Darkness. Okay. The Lord gave them over to their foolish mind to do those things which are not convenient. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a such thing as a necessary evil. Okay. And you're gonna have, guys with itchy ears, following after these false teachers, not knowing that they're entering the wide and broad gate, which leadeth to destruction. Because that's what all these false prophets are. They are the broad and wide gate, which leadeth to destruction. Okay, and a lot of these guys, they're teaching that the Lord loves Esau and hates Jacob, and Esau is you know is a dark skinned man with red hair, and they're doing this because of a couple of reasons. They're either scared of Esau and what he's about to bring. You know, they must have saw that. They must have heard about Donald Trump's speech, and they peed and boo booed on themselves, and they started shaking, and their shoes with holes in them. Oh shit, man, he's passing the anti those who are the anti-Semitic get the death penalty. The scriptures say, you're not supposed to be. What did the Lord say? Fear not him which killed the body, but is not able to do anything else after that. But fear rather him that can destroy both body and soul in hell. You know. And at the end of the day, you niggas over there at Fopi, you're a bunch of pussies. Okay, you're scared of what Esau's going to do to you if you keep on pushing the narrative that Esau's the so-called white man. Okay, so we're going to get down to this, okay? And we're going to see if, according to biblical prophecy, if black men with red hair will have the fatness of the earth. Because prophetically speaking, we know that Esau, who is Edom, Genesis 36:1, would have the fatness of the earth. So, I'm just going to get straight to the point here. We're going into the scenario of where Jacob and Esau were basically being blessed by their father Isaac, okay? And this is pretty much, I am at the part here where basically Jacob was scarcely from the presence of Esau after having received Esau's blessing, which is, being sustained with plenty of corn and wine, and blesses they that bless thee, and cursed be they that curse thee, and Jacob having the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven, and be king and lord over nations and over thy brethren, and such, right? So then after Jacob received the blessing, then here come Esau coming back with the venison to basically, to feed, basically give it to Isaac to get the blessing. And after hearing that Jacob had received Esau's blessing, right? Esau pretty much wept in bitterness. So, Esau, Isaac pretty much is like, damn, bro, like, well, I can give you this blessing, and this is pretty much the blessing that Isaac gave to his eldest son Esau. Okay, so Genesis. Now, in my previous video, I went into how Esau looks according to the Holy Bible, and he is not described as a black man with red hair. Okay, he's described as a pale-skinned man. Okay, with stringy hair. Okay, in which if you have leprosy, your blood is going to show through your body. We know that Edomites have leprosy, and blood is red. Isn't that why Esau is called Edom? Edom goes back to the Hebrew word Adawam, which means red. The reason why Esau was called red was because of the blood that showed forth through his body, the blood that showed forth through his face. And that's you so-called white people. Whenever you get angry, whenever you get mad, whenever you stand out in a hot blazing sun too long, what happens? You start to turn red. Why? Because of the blood that showed forth through your skin. Because of the blood that starts to show forth through the white meat under your skin. Okay? So we know, you know, if you have the oil, as you know, Yashawamba brought out in that one video, if you have the oil, you would know that Esau Edom is the self-proclaimed white man, starting with the so-called elites who call themselves Rothschilds and Rockefellers, trickling down to the rest of their nation, the people. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, Genesis 27 verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live and serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. Okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into the definition of fatness here. Okay? Okay? And the Hebrew word there is mashaman, right? Now, the root word for mashaman is what? Shaman, right? And shaman is the actual Hebrew word, okay? A shaman, right? So this is what a shaman is, right? A shaman is a person regarded as having access to and influence in the world of good and evil, in the world of good and evil spirits. Now, is not this planet full of good and evil spirits? Everybody have spirits on them, whether they be good or bad, right? People with evil spirits are going to go around smoking, doing drugs, selling drugs, committing adultery, getting tattoos, gang banging, committing murder, offing their parents, dishonoring their parents, cursing out their parents, you know, scoffing, coming up against the truth, breaking the scriptures down wrong, being a false witness, kidnapping, committing pedophilia, bestiality, incest, being a HOMO, a fruit cake, a fruit fly, okay? Being a lover of the LGBTQ community, okay? Being a QUEER, being a whore, a slut, a hoe. Okay, people with evil spirits are going to do these things, They're going to be full of hate, which what is hate? Hate is basically when you live outside of the law, statutes, and commandments, which is a life of wickedness and iniquity. When you live outside of the law, statutes, and commandments which the Lord have given unto you, and you start living by your own accord, that's hate. Because we know that love is the fulfilling of the law. Now, we're not going to be saved on keeping the law. I have to throw that out there because you got guys teaching the law, the law, the law. No, you're not going to be saved on keeping the law. Now, like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, wherewith ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see the Lord's salvation in his land. Okay? So, love is the fulfilling of the law. So if love is the keeping of the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, then what is hate? Hate is living a life of sin. Okay? Hate is when you live a life of sin. You just you have no regard for the Lord, period. You have no regard for the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, period. You know? So that's hate, you know, living outside of the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. So, anyways, you know, when you have goods, when you have the light, which is Yahweh, you're gonna do good. So who on this planet have access and influence in this world? Esau does. And he mainly influenced people through what? His media, his TV stations, his movies, through his music industries, through Hollywood, through cartoons, anime, through music, through video games. This is how Esau is able to influence. This is how Esau is able to influence the people in the world through his democracy. Okay? So Esau's the ultimate shaman on the planet right now. Okay? Because not he, because the so-called elites, which have branched off into other so-called elite families, which also have control over the world, they're the ones who have influence in this world, especially among some peoples in Northern Asia and North, there's more to the definition, but they're not going to really give you the Oxford definition of it, you know. And, there's other definitions to it. So, Esau's the ultimate shaman on the planet. So, shaman, which is where you get the Hebrew word for fatness, right? And what do we see right here? We see fatness, fat peace, fertile place, right? In which we're going to get into all these. Richly prepared food. Do not the Edomites, especially these rich Edomites, the self-proclaimed white people, right? Do not these Edomites, especially the rich ones, do not they eat the best foods on the planet? Okay, you think these rich people are eating GMO foods? And no. And a matter of fact, I even dare to say that GMO foods were created really so that the rich and the wealthy Edomites could hoard all of the real and natural food to themselves. Okay? So these Edomites, these rich Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man, starting with the so-called elites trickling down, starting with the so-called elites who call themselves Rothschilds and Rockefellers, trickling down to the rest of their nation of people, to these rich Edomites, which will be these rich so-called white people around the world, especially here in Babylon, right? These rich Edomites are eating the best of the best foods, okay? They're eating real natural steak, real natural beef, real natural chicken. Okay? They're not eating GMO shit. Okay? GMOs were created to give to the poor, which will be our people. Okay, it says fat, fatness, fat pieces, oil. Who has control over the oil? Okay, who are the main nation of people on this planet that have control over the earth's oil, which is what, the blood of the earth? Okay, do not the Russians, which are Edomites, do not they have control over major oil imports and exports? The do not NATO and the EU have control over the oil of the earth, imports and exports? Okay, Europe. Okay, who else? America, Israel. Do not they have control over the oil? Okay, Isaac told Esau he will have the fatness of the earth. Because these other nations, these Iranians, the Chinese, don't get me wrong, Chinese people, they have control over, you know, a lot of oil. But come on, there's more Edomites on this planet that have control over the oil of the earth than Chinese people do. China simply have their own portion of oil, which they control. You know, okay. So, and if you notice, the Edomites control most of these major countries. Russia is a major country. Okay, you got Germany. Okay, which they're Edomites too, but they have control over large reserves of oil. And so does NATO, which is ran NATO. Europe is ran by who? So-called white leaders. Okay, Edomites. So Europe is predominantly controlled and ran by Edomites. So is Russia. So is Germany. So is Moscow. Moscow is also a large oil producer. Okay, Moscow also has control over oil, and of course there's America. America has control over large reserves of oil. So the Edomites have control over all the oil. Okay, and if you go to Google and you type in who has control over oil and this and that, you're not going to see dark-skinned men with red hair. You're not going to see the face of a dark-skinned man with red hair pop up. Okay, you're going to see a pale-skinned cracker with stringy hair wearing a suit with a smile on his face and a big fucking nose wearing glasses pop up. Okay, and he may not even have to wear glasses, but I'm just speaking figuratively. Okay, and of course you got olive oil. You know, you got fatness, you got stout, you got vigorous. Look at that. Fertile spots or places. Now, if we scroll down here, right? Okay, we scroll down here in the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, right? For mashaman, what do you see here? You see fatness. Okay, you see the fatness of his flesh. You see, okay, fat, i.e., what do you see right here? Fertile meadows. Now, I went to meadows, right? And we're just going to go to images here. Meadow. These are meadows. And meadows are basically places, fertile places where what? Where you can build farmland. Farmlands are built on meadows. Okay? And in farmlands, what do? You plant vineyards. Okay? So here it is. We got meadows. Okay. Okay. Meadows. Meadow noun definition. Here's an example of a farmland being built on a meadow. And what do you see over there? You see livestock. Let's see. You got a couple of villages over here too. And the smart thing to do, which is what Gad did, Gad and Reuben, which Gad would be of the Gad will be the so-called North American Indians. Reuben would be the Seminole Indians, right? What Gad would do was they would build houses on meadows. Why? For the purpose of building, for the purpose of planting vineyards. You will plant vineyards so you can grow crops. Okay? And yeah, you can plant and grow crops on meadows. Okay? And predominantly and ultimately, who do you see who do you see with all these farmlands, with all these thousands of acres of farmlands planting, miles upon miles of vineyards? You think farmers are out there starving? Hell nah. They get plenty of tomatoes, potatoes. They get plenty of grains, grapes, different fruits that come out the ground, cabbages, corn. Okay? And a matter of fact, all you have to do is type in farmers. Because the Lord said that Esau will have the fatness of the earth. Okay? And who do you see right here? Farmers. You see Edomites. For the most part. And of course you're gonna have Jake out there tilling the ground because he's a fucking slave in this kingdom. But okay. There you go, look. You see Edomites. Okay. Okay. These look like Hamites right here. They look like a Hamite. Okay. Okay. But for the most part, and of course they're going to show farmers in different countries, I just typed in farmers, you know. Let's type in American farmers. Okay. Okay. And what do you see? What do you see in this picture right here? You see vineyards, right? So when you have meadows, you have what? You have vineyards. Okay. You see predominantly Edomites as farmers on this land. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna have hairs that look like Israelites, because remember, during the time of slavery, the Edomites raped the women of our nation and had children by them. So she might be a tear. Okay? Just because a person has brown skin and woolly hair does not mean they are Israelites. Okay? And I know they're showing like different cultures of people, but the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white men, they predominantly own the vast majority of the farmland, not just here in America, but also in Europe, in Russia, in Germany, and such. Okay. So when you have meadows, you have farmers who would build farmland. on meadows. So we come back over here, right? We see fertile meadows, right? And then here's another one, right? Fat soldiers. Okay? Who have the most vastest militaries on the planet? The Edomites do, okay? You look at Russia's military, right? Okay? Matter of fact, let's come over here. Fat soldiers. Because it's not talking about, when it says fat soldiers, it's not talking about men who are obese, out of shape. Men got they're so big and shit. They got titties, and no, it's not talking about that. Okay, fat soldiers meaning you have a vast military, and you know what else makes your military vast? Your artillery. You have tanks. You have MRAPs. You have RPGs, grenades, bombs, C4s, dynamite, flash grenades, stun grenades. Okay? So let's go over here. Go to Google. See how many, because remember, there's more Edomites on this planet than there is Chinese people or Japanese people or Arabs or Africans. Remember, Esau controls the whole world. There's going to be more Edomites on this planet than East Indians, than Arabs, than Africans. There's going to be more Edomites on this planet than Chinese or Japanese people. There's going to be more Edomites on this planet than Africans. Okay? See, how many soldiers are in Russia's army? Okay? 2 million were reserve service members and 250,000 were paramilitary forces. Okay? 1.32 million being active military personnel. Okay, how many soldiers does Russia have? Russia Armed Forces had 3.57 million troops as of 2024. Okay? That's just Russia. That's not including NATO. Let's see. Excuse me. Soldiers. How many soldiers are... Let's type in Europe. In Europe's army. So you see, there's more Edomite soldiers on this planet than there are soldiers of any other nation on this planet. EU military defense total armed forces personnel in the European Union. The number of military personnel serving in the member states of the European Union has declined. Okay. 3.4 million people at the end of the Cold War. Less than 2 million by 2019. How many soldiers are in Europe's army? Okay. So Europe, they had between like 2 million, whatever, in their armed forces. How many soldiers are in Germany's army? Let's type this in. Soldier numbers in German Federal Armed Forces 2023 by type of service as of November 2023, around 57,365 professional soldiers served in the German Federal Armed Forces. Bundeswehr. There were also 114,243 contract soldiers. Okay, so that's in Germany. Okay. How many soldiers are in NATO's army? So there are 3.5 million soldiers in NATO's army. So there's more Edomite soldiers on this planet than there are soldiers in amongst any other nation on this planet. Period. Okay. How many soldiers are in America's army? 453,551 in the army. And that's, you see, because remember, America's military is broken up into different sectors. So we also have 332,322 in the Navy. Okay. So, and then there's 318,698 in the Air Force. So when you add all this together, there's over a million there's over a million military personnel in America's Army. Okay. Then you go over here, right? Okay. So this is what it means to have the fatness of the earth. How many soldiers are in China's army? 2 million. That doesn't compare to Russia's military. Okay, Russia have 3 point what 20 something million. Oh, let me see. And I don't need to do an estimate of how many military personnel are in India or in Iran's military. It's probably in the hundred thousands, but see, 3.57 million, and that's as of 2024. 3.57 million troops in Russia's army. So this is what it means to have the fatness of the earth. You're going to have a vast military. You're going to control the agricultural sectors. You're going to be the farmers. Okay. Oh, and let's go back up here, right? Because it also said fertile place. Okay. And an example of fertile places. Oh, look here. Look, fertile spots are fertile places. Okay. Excuse me. An example of a fertile place, right? Because it don't have to just be um fertile. Don't have to just mean like having anything to do with the soil of the earth. Fertile can also mean, if we just type in fertile definition, right? Fertile. Come on, man. Definition. Yes. And we're gonna just go to all here. Okay. So, of course, by default, fertile is going to be of soil or land, which really the earth is made up of land, right? Then it's being surrounded by what? Bodies of ocean, rivers, which Esau has control over that too. They have underwater cities, underground cities, producing or capable of producing abundant vegetations or crops. See that? That's you know, that's what farmers do, right? Farmers have control over these fertile places. Okay, of a seed or egg capable of becoming a new individual. Okay, able to conceive young, use. Okay, more definitions of a situation or subject. Fruitful and productive in generating new ideas. Okay. Okay. Able to become fissile by capture of neutrons. Okay. Which that's going into something else. Okay. So he's gonna have control over all the farmlands, all the places where you can grow crops. He's gonna have control over thousands upon tens of thousands of acres of land. This is what it means to have the fatness of the earth. Okay. Let's see. And right here under Strong's definition, right, we have fat one, we have fatness, fattest, okay, fattest place. The fattest place. And who's living in some of the most who's living in the most richest and wealthiest places around the world? Okay? All you gotta do is go over here and type in wealthy neighbor excuse me, I spelled that wrong. Wealthy neighborhood people. Wealthy neighborhood people. The wealthy neighborhood people in America. Look at this. You think Jake can afford that shit? Nah. Beverly Hills, $38 million. Look at that. The richest North Carolina neighborhood. This is what their houses look like. You better best believe Edomites are living up in there. Okay? Look at that. Haven Lifestyles. Houston's most expensive neighborhoods. Okay? So, I mean, look, man. Enough said. Esau has the fatness of the earth. And what does it mean to have fatness of the earth? It also means to have the best parts of the world as well. As I read down here in Strong's definitions, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see. A rich dish, fertile field, a robust man. Okay. Fatness, fattest place. As you see right there. You know, like there used to be a saying in the world, right? Jacob would say, I'm living large. Well, what does it mean to live large? It means to be living fat. To live fat means to live wealthy or rich. And predominantly, Edomites are the ones on this planet living wealthy and rich. And a lot of their wealth and their riches really come from the blood, sweat, and tears of the slaves who built this place. Okay? So close that out. And also to have the fatness, right, of the earth means to have control over corporations. It means to have control over businesses, to have control over factories, to have control over the best businesses on the planet. Who has control over YouTube? Who controls Hollywood? Okay? Let's do this. Who controls Hollywood? Hollyweird. A lot of weirdo shit go on there. Who controls Hollywood? Okay? The ones who built Hollywood are the ones who run it. Let's go over here. Who controls Hollywood? Okay? Hollywood is a complex industry. Okay. No shit. So who controls Hollywood? You know? Let's click on this right here. Okay. Is it true that the JOOs is run by Hollywood? Is it true that Hollywood is run by the JOOs? Yes, they do. If you research the top CEOs for most media outlets, you'll see that a majority of those positions are filled by well, those people in the land of Israel are Gentiles. They're heathens. For all intents and purposes, though you won't get an in-depth answer on Quora since these times are regressive age of heavy censorship. Yep. So who run the film industry? And see, Esau's trying to, they're trying to hide who runs Hollywood. Come on. President Peter, you see it right there. Okay. Paramount Pictures is owned by who? Chairman, you see that guy right there. Walt Disney Company is owned by Chief. Okay. So you see that the ish people, they run Hollywood. Okay. Okay. So to have the fatness of the earth means to own everything. It means you literally have the fatness of the earth. You own all the businesses, the corporations, you know. Okay. Who controls the music industry? Shit, excuse me. Let's see. Who is the head of the music industry? Okay. And all you got to do, right, is hit copy and then go over here and hit paste and you get an image of the person who runs the music industry. That does not look like a black man with red hair to me. That looks like an Edomite. This is the person, who basically controls the music industry. Okay, a big nose, small hat, wearing glasses. As I said at the beginning of my video. Okay. 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 And instead of controls, let's just type in own. Who owned, and it's obvious who own all the banks, okay? Okay. The ish people do. Okay, starting with the so-called elites, the top Edomites on the planet, who call themselves Rothschilds and Rockefellers. They own all the banks, okay? Who own the music industry? Okay. Who own let's see. You know? Who own the cartoon industry? Owned by Warner Bros. Okay, so it's owned by own. Okay, so who owns Warner Bros? Okay, who owns? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Who owns Warner Bros? Parent organization, Warner Bros. Okay, so these are the founders. Okay, and this is who Warner. This is who Warner is named after. Okay, and all you got to do is let's just click on this. Look at that, a small hat. So Small Hats owns Warner Bros. Okay, Sam Warner, a small hat. Okay, this dude, small hat. Okay, that's why they're called the Warner Bros. Was named after these guys. Okay, I don't see any black men with red hair up in there. Okay, so what does it mean to have the fatness of the earth? It means to be on top. It means to own the whole planet. It means to own all the corporations, all the businesses. It means to own everything, even the grocery stores. Okay, even the department stores, such as Macy's. Who do you think owns Macy's? Who do you think owns Bath and Beyond? Who do you think owns who else? PetSmart. Need I say more? So Esau will have the fatness of the earth, and by thy sword shalt thou live and shalt serve thy brother. And that's just self-explanatory, okay? These devils live by the sword. Why do you think they go around bombing countries and stealing their resources? You know, these Edomites have control over it all. Okay, the precious stones, the precious metals, okay, the precious wood, everything. The precious marbles, the precious pearls. So I pray and hope that you, sincere brothers and few sisters, have been edified. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom, is on to the next one.